So, and so after I play that, share my screen and play that, I'm just going to get into maybe one or two things about that. And if anybody got any questions, I'll take questions, and then I guess we can get all the way into the metaphysical discussion. So y'all know every time I try to share my screen, it be some shiggity. So if y'all can't hear me or you can't see, let me know. All right. Can you all see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm getting ready to play this video. Like I said, it's 7 minutes. So
Amen-Ra, Solomon. But if it's the hidden sun, what it is hidden into? It's hidden into the temple. The temple is what? The body. And over here I am black and comely, the black body. House of the black God, Beth, house, Ham, black, Bethlehem, house of the black God. You see? Well, what is all this coming from? These are ancient mystical stories that can be traced back to the temple of Luxor, which is the temple of Osiris, because Osiris is nothing but doggone Solomon. The temple of Amen-Ra at Karnak. Amen, Ra, which is sun, solar, which is Sol, which means sun, Solomon. So Solomon is Osiris, the physical body, or the structure. And inside of Osiris rests the hidden God, Amen, which means hidden, and Ra, which means sun, a particle of light, is inside of Osiris, which Amen-Ra and Osiris is one and the same. You got the temple of Luxor and the temple of Karnak. You see. And then you got a later mythology talking about the temple of Solomon. They just talk about the same doggone temples that's in Kemet. But Solomon is, oh yeah, I am black and comely. But Solomon represents the black person. You see, King Solomon. The word king, we can even be found in we don't want to use the word Babylonia, but for the lack of a better word, we'll talk about Northeast Kemet. In the mythology, the word Kingu, which means a substance inside of the blood. So the word king actually means melanin. And one must have melanin to be king. The blackness that's inside of the central nervous system, and that central nervous system, you have a purple-looking substance, dark purple, depends on how the light hit it, from black to dark purple, which is melanin. And purple is royalty. You see. In India, they talk about the same melanin in two forms, a plant, but in the body it's also a form, and that substance is called sama. But it says not only sama, they call king sama. Sama is the substance that is needed to make a person a king. You see. make a person a king. So even the word king, which is Pharaoh, has a connection with the blood and with the alchemical makeup of the body, which goes back down to melanin. It's linguistics modification. The word Pharaoh is the same as the word Hero or Heru. Pharaoh or Pharaoh, Heru, which is the Christ. But the Christ is also called a king. This royal house, King of Kings, Lord of Lords. You see, all of this is nothing but the breakdown of the magnitude of who the Egyptians were. A kingly people, a priestly people. But what makes them kingly people and priestly people is the physiological makeup of the body and the spiritual makeup of the body. The physiological structures are also represented in the Egyptian temples. And the spiritual structures is inside of the body can be traced back all the way to the known universe called dark matter, which is nothing but carbon, 6 protons, 6 electrons, 6 neutrons.
That's what carbon is?
Yes. And melanin is nothing but carbon. Blackness. We are carbon beings. Europeans are carbon-based beings. A carbon being is the true substance, the original blueprint. A carbon-based being is going to want a mock being, a hybrid being. And although it might have trace elements of carbon, it's not pure carbon. You see.
What would be the dynamic difference in the two?
One is a residue. One is pure. The difference would be something watered down can only be a shadow of something. So the capabilities of it is limited because it is not pure. You see, it is not pure. Now, give you an example.
I was going to ask you how.
All right, Ashe. And that's Throne of Kingu Power. If y'all want to go and follow him, he be having some real deep stuff on his discussions. So to pick up where brother, our cosmic brother, the great librarian and master teacher Bobby Hemmett was going, we first need to understand that these people have taught us wrong about our bodies and about chemistry or alchemy and everything, because they didn't want us to figure this out and be able to harness not only our energy, but the energy of the earth and use our esoterics from inside to control the earth on the outside. So if you're talking about the Egyptians or the Kemites, you know, you're talking about us. You're talking about us carbon beings over here in the West, because Egypt was in the West. And If you're talking about the Indians, then you're talking about the indigo people, which is still us, which is still the Egyptians, which is still the Kemites. Once we get that basic understanding, we have to understand that Terra existed for eons, not thousands of years, eons. And in that time that, we manifested down here, we had time. We had time to figure out not only the energy that our earth housed, but the energy that we house within. And we were the first doctors, the first architects, everything. And that was a rendition, that picture on there was a rendition of Imhotep, and he was standing in front of Haram-Akhet. And you see pyramids now, everywhere. We got several pyramids and mounds over here, and you see the satellite colony over in Africa that they love to show you, but they never talk about our pyramids that are ancient, that are over here, or pyramids everywhere in India, all over in China. And the reason why we built those pyramids were because they can harness our energy. But where did we get the design of the pyramid from? Our bodies. Whether you all realize it or not, we have pyramids in our body. So that house energy, that house our chakra energy. And if we're talking about chakra energy, we're talking about our adrenals. You got to think about it. And let me stop sharing my screen.
Can't hear you.
Sorry, guys. Y'all know how to do me. Can y'all hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, so if we're talking chakras, we're also talking about our endocrine system, which is linked to our nervous system. Understand that. So we are energetic beings, okay? So if we're talking about our adrenal system, what controls it? Our third eye, right? Our pineal, which is linked to our pituitary, right? Then what else you got? You got your throat chakra, right? Well, what's your throat chakra? That's your thymus. That's another adrenal gland that controls our immunity. Then you got your heart, right? And your heart is the pump for your whole body. You understand? But that's also adrenals, things like that. Adrenaline runs your heart. Then what else you got? You got your kidneys, and you got your actual adrenal glands there. Solar plexus, think about it. On top of your kidneys, which filters your blood. And you have a liver on the side, which also does that, and your spleen. Just know this. And then where you go down, what's the next one after the I said,
Root.
what all did I?
You said solar plexus, then now root. You going all the way down.
Right. And then you got your root, which is your genitalia and your genitals, your ovaries, your testes. And in all of these places, we have actual pyramids in our bodies. We call them different things. In your kidneys, they call them calyxes. In the back of your brain, they actually, or your spinal cord, they actually call them your pyramids. You understand? That houses our energy. In your eyes, we have rods and staffs. We used to carry a rod in our right hand and staff. You understand? Well, we got that from our eyes. You understand? Because our eyes have rods and cones. The rods is the staff, and the cone is your pyramid. So when you understand that we are energetic beings, and you have to begin to shift your mind to think of yourself as energy and not flesh, you can begin to unlock the metaphysics of what our magic and magnetism really is all about. And they taught us wrong because we carbon beings, right? They're carbon based. So when you understand that we were alchemists, understand that, and that our periodic table is wrong, you got to think of energy. What is energy? It's electrons. What is an electron? The smallest form of an electron is hydrogen, right? Right there on the periodic table, number one. Well, that's the only element, people. and everything else is a derivative of hydrogen. Why is that? Because of ionic exchange, because you're exchanging electrons through your nervous system, through your body. And our melanin helps us harness that energy at a faster rate. Understand that the melanin, the derivative of hydrogen that's called carbon, what we look like, this darkness and this blackness that's in us, the hidden substance. And that's what causes us to be able to connect esoterically to everything that's built on the earth. All of these ley lines, everything is through ion exchange of these hydrogens. So what do we need in our body? We need H3O water. Why? Because we have to take a hydrogen off of that water from the fruit in order to run our electrical machine. You understand what I'm saying? We get outside on the ground and we charge up. We exchange ions. They got you and they tell you an ion and they'll tell you it's sodium, it's chloride. No, you exchanging a proton, electron, people, electricity, if you break it down to its most simple form. And that's what our magnetism is. That's what our magic is. It's using the electrical system in our body to control this earth, which is possible because that's how the earth was designed esoterically. So certain cities that we have is built on ley lines, people. And what are the ley lines attached to? They're attached to us. But we haven't been using them properly, and we've been having a wrong mindset on these ley lines. And whatever we think on these ley lines and stuff, these energetic centers, because we control that, it's going to manifest that on the earth. So if we think in violence and we on the ley line, we're going to manifest violence on our people. If we thinking we lower than them, that's what we're going to manifest into this earth. You understand what I'm saying? So now what's happening is, because our sons have come back, and that's also a form of energetic exchange with the sun. We exchange in energy. It's UV energy, you understand, plasma energy, electrons, and our blood cells, which is our blood. Remember Bobby Hemmett was talking about our royal blood, which separates us from them, is now harnessing that energy again, and it's changing us, and we reintegrate in what they told you was junk DNA, but really that's your deoxyetheric acid, like the ether, that's your hair, that's your antenna, you understand? We reintegrate in that. And as we reintegrate that, everything in us is moving faster. And because we moving faster, we causing the earth to move faster. You understand that? And we causing the moon to wobble. Understand that? And because we meditating and we ready for this to be over, you might be on a ley line. And I done told you before, you probably bringing the water to all of these people right now and don't even understand you are manifesting the world going into the 5D, because we're there in the 5D and higher, and we're in control of shifting this now, because we got all the light codes in our bodies to manifest this. Whatever we think is what's going to be done. And whatever we speak is what's going to be done. So that's why it's so important for us to realize the power that we have, not only in our tongue, but in our thoughts, in the areas of land that we are on. Because really, you could be manifesting some stuff and not even realize what you're doing or how powerful that you truly are. So I think that's all I'm going to say about that for today. I'll probably post some pictures in the group showing the pyramids and stuff in our body. I posted it before about 1.5 years ago, but I'm going to dig them back up and I'm going to post those so you all can see, that you all got the pyramids in you, so you can manifest anything. But when you go, the reason why they got all of these areas restricted and shit and don't want you going in them areas is because you done seen in the movies, you know how you walk in the motherfucking spaceship and everything light up and activate? Well, you got the codes in you. You gonna walk in that. It's designed after your body. That's what a pyramid is. It's designed after the royal bloodline. You walk in that shit, everything might just go off. And they know this, especially with this new plasma energy. As we get more suns, we're going to reintegrate more and more. We're going to speed up faster and faster. It's going to get hotter and hotter on this planet. Why? Because of us. Think about it. Plasma that's moving faster is heat energy. You understand? So heat energy, and we breathe out heat and we exchange in the plasma. And that's why it's so important for you to go outside and ground, because you harnessing energy from the sun, but sometimes you can short circuit yourself. So grounding helps you to exchange that energy in a healthy way. You get the positive ions and you give the negative ions away. It's all about electricity. All right. If anybody has any questions, let me know. But that's all that I just wanted to discuss. I think that Bobby Hemmett video was real deep.
Ashe.
Cashapp.
So we got the plasma energy, and we also got the water energy from Mother Gaia.
Facts.
That's
Which
huge.
is just energy.
Mm-hmm.
We got
Stuff.
all the elements. We got air. We got all of the tornadoes and everything going on. We got ether, which is us. And we got earth, because we got all the earthquakes and everything shaking and mudslides and stuff.
Yep, fires in California. Got the fires and stuff going.
Mm-hmm.
All of them is actually, with all of those, I believe is each of our chakra centers are being activated on Mother Gaia and within us.
Yeah.
And some are slower because they have some energy blocks that have not awakened within themselves. For each of one of us be slow to activate, because not knowing that their chakras are blocked and they're not aligned. So that's why it's more people activating faster than others because of blockages. And if they know how to unblock each and every last one of their chakras and then align them, they will be on point. And this how I got my son to understand what I and to understand what I was saying about unblocking your chakras with that little it's a series called Avatar. It's the cartoon though,
Mm-hmm.
and the guru was teaching Aang how to unblock his chakras because he had the element of wind, and he is the avatar, but he forgot who he was in all the past lives. So the guru showed him each and told him specific instructions on how to unblock each chakra. And it was just like boom, because I watched that series, but then when I seen it again, I understood it, and it just lit me up on how I can describe to someone who asked a question on about their chakras. How do they unblock their chakras? And I referred them to that because that guru will give you better instructions than me, because people listen to you, but if they hear somewhere else, they tend to listen to it. You know what I mean?
True. True. And that's real. And people don't understand that disease is just a blockage of energy. It's
It's
just a misfire of energy in your body. So when you got dysfunction in your endocrine system, that's because that's your chakras, people. That's the physical manifestation of your chakras. So that means you out of alignment. So meditation, our diet, everything is linked to this type of stuff. And these people know this. That's why they gave us all of those endocrine disrupting hormones and all of these toxic foods that hit our endocrine system, because that's our chakras. So that's the importance of like doing a cleansing your body, cleansing out the toxins out of your body, because the actual toxins that's in your body, they negative ions. We need positive ions, positive energy exchange. So when I say it's a negative ion, I don't mean a negatively charged ion. I mean it's negative to our body. It's a oxidative things. It puts us into an oxidative state. And what does oxygen do to anything? It rusts it, it ages it. You understand what I'm saying? And when that happens, that's the misfiring that happens in your, let's say, ovaries, and you get PCOS, or in your pancreas, and you get diabetes. You understand what I'm saying? Or even hormonally, all the way up to your pituitary gland, like in your pineal. That's why they give us all of this fluoride and stuff like that, because if you give a person fluoride, think about it, and it hits their pineal. Your pineal is what communicates to your pituitary to send the hormones, and that's just information to your chakras. You understand what I'm saying? So if they hit your pineal and shut that down, they don't shut down your whole chakra system, really, not just your first eye. So you really, when you get into start to looking at this as an alchemist, you understand, because they divided medicine from, you know what I'm saying, alchemy. They took all of this out. They took the chemistry out. But when you start to reintegrate it, it makes sense. You understand what I'm saying? And the reason why we use pictures and symbols is because we was at such an advanced state, we didn't need words. We understood when we saw that symbol exactly what it meant. We didn't speak
Shay.
because speaking takes energy, doesn't it?
Yes.
Exactly. So how the family feeling, man? You know, ascension symptoms getting real for some of us out here, boy. I was talking with
Absolutely.
other admins. Huh?
Say absolutely.
Man, look, I telling y'all what though, I think I done got past the hump of it, but I done just been tired, like a lot of sleep, y'all, like a lot of sleep. But I'm telling y'all, when I'm telling y'all, like, I be waking up and I just be having downloads and downloads and downloads. Like, it's kind of like my brain is just going super fast, like a supercomputer. Like, I be getting so many downloads now. I'm like, I need to start writing this stuff down, because for me, I don't know if it's like this for y'all, but it's like when I get a download, it's like a moment of clarity, like right before the download comes. And then, like, just in my mind, I'll put something together and it'll make perfect sense. But I don't know how I done put it together like that. And it's a download from some, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, this came
Yes.
from somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? But I'm like,
Yes.
did it make sense?
It makes sense. Yep. Absolutely.
That's our confirmation right there.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, it's getting realer than real with this stuff, man. Realer than real. I hope y'all is really getting out here and exchanging this energy with these sons and getting this stuff. Ears ringing like crazy, y'all. Ears just
Right.
doing a lot.
Yes. Mine too. Mm.
Yeah. And I done got the constipation again, y'all. But I'm fighting through that.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? I'm dehydrated, so I know why it's doing that. You understand what I'm saying? Because I hate water. I'm just gonna throw it. I hate water, so I be trying to like supplement with fruit and stuff like that. Like water just tastes metallic to me. I just never like the taste of it. So I'm gonna have to like infuse my water with some cucumbers or something to,
At least you're not drinking soda.
huh?
At least you're not drinking soda and juices.
Nah, yeah, I don't drink soda. I do drink juice every now and then, but it's like juice that I squeeze. But
Okay.
yeah, I gave soda up like 2 years ago, y'all. I can't drink
Hmm.
it no more. It's too sweet for
Right.
me. It gives me a headache.
I stopped drinking it because when I did the research of it, and it just disgusted me. I'm like, I used to put this in my
The
body.
high fructose corn syrup in it, all that sugar.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I
And Again, they hitting our endocrine system. You see them? You understand? Like all of this stuff, when you just think about all they done to us to try to prevent us from getting here, it's real
And we still make
unfathomable. You know what I'm saying? You like, because melanated carbon-based beings, we don't wake up in the morning thinking about how to mass kill people and stuff. I mean, that's not. I mean,
that's not in
maybe
our
some of us
DEA.
might, but that's probably inorganic. But for the most part, I wake up in the morning with joy in my heart. I'm thinking about how to do my day. You understand? But actually, some of them woke up in the morning with that on their mind, like how I'm going to stop melanated people today, like for real, and put a whole plan in action on us, y'all. It didn't work, but the whole point is y'all did it. Like, you got to be some of the most low vibratory beings ever created to just wake up and want to destroy another people for no reason. Because what we done to them,
I mean,
but helpful.
do we say that about them? We don't wake up thinking that we want to hurt mankind in the underground
No,
No, God,
entirely like that.
it's not in our God essence to even
it
Right?
think
ain't.
that way.
Even after all they done to us, our ancestors, everything, we still don't wake up with that hate in our heart. And we got every right to have it, though.
Every right, yeah.
We don't
You
think about snatching
understand?
their children, taking them underground. We don't think about drinking their blood.
Have mercy. You ain't never told no story. And that's the importance of the blood, too. Because our blood heals. We was having a deep conversation in the admin about healing blood. And
Right?
it's real, y'all. Like, our blood, you got to protect your bloodline right now. You got to really watch yourself going in these hospitals and these clinics right now, because we changing metaphysically. There's some stuff happening to our blood, okay? You got royal blood, and that blood can heal them and help them live longer. You be done went up in there and you got some royal bloodline and they be done seen it. Then you gonna go into that database. You understand what I'm saying? And you might just, a car accident or something might just befall you. You might get mugged and killed, anything, because you gotta understand these people need blood because they not carbonated beings. They carbon based. And with all of this plasma coming off of the sun, it's aging us backwards, but it's turning them forward. You understand what I'm saying? Because they're a
Right.
shadow of us, so they can't live under the real conditions of earth when all of our sons come back. They need our blood to survive, y'all, and they been needed it. Them meats and stuff got our blood in it. Just trust and believe me. It's human DNA in every type of meat that y'all is eating. If you eating beef, if you eating chicken, if you eating any type thing ground turkey, all of that stuff has a level of human DNA in it, and they pass it through. I know this for facts because I used to work in, all of this type of stuff. They got a acceptable quality limit for how much human DNA could be in that stuff to give it to the public, y'all.
You ain't lying. So
So
if y'all get
yeah,
hurt, be mindful. Don't go to that doctor in the hospital.
man, try to avoid
How
it
much
at all costs.
blood are they taking?
Yes, I think Sue K told me. Who was that said about
Yeah,
10 vials? Look, I
that's a
saw a
lot.
girl on TikTok
That
say
was
that too.
me
So that
and my
was One
cousin.
Love.
Yeah,
Yeah, how much they take, One
They
Love?
took more than 10. He said they took like
Oh,
8 vials of blood, and all he was doing was he was overheated. He had been in the sun too long, and so he was like,
mm,
a little anxiety, and he said they took about 8 vials. Came back and took another few. Then came back and said, "I'm sorry, I apologize, but there was something that happened in the lab and we wasted some of your blood." He literally said that they said that there was an accident concerning the blood in your blood in the lab. And unfortunately, sir, we got to take some more blood.
mm,
Recently, true story.
mm.
I believe it.
I
You get,
believe them.
you get
I done
hurt a
She's
little
seen it
right
bit.
on.
about being careful in these facilities and doctor's office.
Man, you going into the death camp trying to tell you right now, you got to really know like these hospitals is really strained right now. Staff is going down. They ain't talking about it, but I'm just keeping it real. They lost a whole wave of people because certain doctors and certain nurses ain't take that shit. They were just like, motherfucker, I'm finna retire, everything. So you got all of the nurses that had years and years of experience gone. You understand?
Hmm.
And all jokes to the side, the nurses is the lifeblood of the hospital because they basically like you a doctor and you here, but you need a good qualified nurse because they always with the patients. They can alert you to the shit. And the more experience they have, it's a very valuable resource. You understand what I'm saying? Man, them nurses done retired and stuff, done got up out of there. You got all of these new people. Then they sick, you understand, because they took the hot sauce. And I'm just editing my words when I talk about that because sometimes I post parts of our discussion on
Right.
my social media. And, they on a social media frenzy on me right now trying to shut my pages down. So I'm finna outsmart their algorithm. But,
There you go.
uh, you know, it ain't the place to go right now. I had a friend who had a cardiac episode. She had a cardiac arrest and she had to go up in the hospital. And if it wasn't for me and like her knowing people who were like medically trained, she wouldn't be here. She would not be here. Like when she went up in there, what was the name of the first hospital she went to? It's in Chicago. It'll come to me. But she went to the first hospital and they gave her 3 stents, right, off the gate. And then they had her in there and she was just being medically mismanaged. They wasn't giving her any type of things to get the fluid off her heart or nothing. She was getting worse and worse and worse. And they do black women the worst. I'm just going black men and black women the worst.
Oh
And
yeah.
so she was in there, and I'm like, well, Roxanne, is they giving you any Lasix? And Lasix is a drug to help remove the fluid, from your body,
Mhm.
because when your heart ain't pumping, the fluid build up. I'm like, they giving you any Lasix? They got you on anything? No. They had her eating ice and shit, like a regular diet, like all of this ice. And then so the doctor came in there, and he told her, they was gonna have to put a LVAD in her, which is the left ventricular assist device, y'all. So they wanted to do some expensive $200,000 procedure because they knew she had insurance, but she didn't need no LVAD. I'm like, they ain't even gave you no drugs or nothing to pull it up off you. So we had to like call around. She had to get her brother who knew a doctor in Chicago, and they had to emergency evacuate her out that hospital to another hospital where people that we knew. And once we put her on the right regimen, they got on the right regimen, she walked out the hospital within a week. You understand what I'm saying? With nothing in her or nothing. But had she been in there and had she not had people who was medically trained, she probably would have got an LVAD and probably would have died on the table. You understand what I'm saying? So it's been medical mismanagement, but it's bad now, guys. Like, it's really bad. So I'm hearing a lot of stories about this. So when I tell you to take all precautions when you go up in there, take all precautions. And if you gotta go up in there, definitely have a family member or somebody close to you with you. Don't go in there alone. Don't go in that motherfucker alone.
You
Go
won't.
with somebody. If they re-implement that shit where you can't have no family members in there, motherfucker, just die on the bed. Ain't no such thing as death, because I'm trying to tell you, they're gonna get you up in there and ain't no fucking telling what they gonna do to you, because ain't even nobody gonna fucking know. Anyway, moving on along. So does anything, anybody, I hate to get heavy like that, but it's heavy though, y'all. It's
No,
getting
you.
heavy out here.
Hey, this is a spiritual discussion.
That's how we gotta be. We can't really sugarcoat nothing because they not playing. They is trying to they still trying to go all the way to the end on everything with us, because
Yeah,
they mad the fact that they cannot eradicate us, that they can't get rid of energy. We may be transforming to something else, but they still will not get rid of us. So they not gonna stop. If we
yeah,
just keep sitting back like, oh yeah, they should be tired now. No, we thinking wrong. So I like your hardness about it. Let's go. Yeah, we got to stay on top of that, because if we get caught slipping, we gonna get got and we're gonna be transforming to something else, and we may come back worse on their tail. Come to think of it.
mm,
Look.
yeah. Shoot, I already said they don't want me out of this flesh vehicle and just let my soul be loose, because I'm
I
coming
know,
back
right?
as water or fire. I'm finna burn this whole bitch down now. You got the right one now. Yeah, y'all better leave me bound up in this flesh. Y'all don't want me out here prowling. Trust me. Because I'm trying to tell you, I ain't coming back in no light vehicle. I'm finna come back as an element and finish fucking them up. So I ain't got to reincarnate back this bitch no more. I'm telling you what I'm on. So either way, they done for me. Because either way, I could activate in this, or I could goddamn leave this, and I could just go ahead and be with the soul right now and get this shit on kicked off. Either way, hey,
No.
Exactly.
ain't nobody afraid. Shoot, that's the one thing. But I know I'm not afraid. So I know I'm infinite, and I know ain't no such thing as death. Like once you pull that veil off of you, though, on a spiritual level, once you really release that fear of death, because that's really what's holding you back. Either fear of death or fear of losing some money or something. Once you get to the 0 point and you don't care about that no more, you turn into a hell of a force, boy, because ain't nothing they got on you that they could do to you.
I'll tell you, anybody that I come across I always quote what my mom used to say to me. She was like, baby, death is the answer, but you can't kill yourself. But she never would
Mm-mm.
elaborate. But that
Right.
made sense. I'm like, and going to Sunday school, and they try to indoctrinate you in there and stuff like that, and and they always say soul is everlasting. So I had the question, like, well, if our soul is everlasting, then why is you telling us that we need to fear hell? And it didn't make sense to me. So with that being said, I believed what my mom said all the way up until now, because it's more illuminated now, because it's just sitting in my face like boom. And she always, when she passed away, when I seen all of her energy with my eyes wide open, all the memories, everything that she ever taught me and that she known came to me. She didn't die in my arms, but that felt just like she did, like her energy was transferred to me, or everything that she ever told me, that's still working with me to this day. And it is beautiful. It's like when you, like you said, when you don't fear it. Do you know, I had like 3 near-death experiences, to the point where this last one was with a friend of mine. Well, she's not my friend no more, which I called my friend, and she was upset that I wouldn't take her side against her mother. I was like, what is wrong with you? I said, that's your mom. What, you want me to disrespect your mom? I was like, no, I don't do that. I wasn't raised like that. And we was coming back from Omaha, Nebraska, back to West Des Moines, and she was upset where she was speeding. We was in a drop top car, and she was, fast, and she slammed on brakes, and I felt the car about to tilt over, and I just closed my eyes, and I felt like I was in a void of peace, though. And I
Yeah.
was like, woo. All I said inside my head, ain't no voice, no nothing. I was like, woo. And I had an inhale and an exhale breath. And on my exhale breath, I felt the car tilt back. And as I opened my eyes back again, we was in like a 360 in the medium with the grass. The car was like a car, what you call that, lawnmower, because the grass and shit was waist high when she got through turning in that bitch. And I
Man.
was looking at her like, you got that mad that you was willing to kill both of us? That's when our friendship was no longer. I haven't talked with her since.
Mm.
And I was like,
Anybody?
yeah,
Go
go
ahead.
ahead. I'm done.
Oh, I was going to ask anybody else, have they had a near-death experience that they would like to share?
You know what? I was about to say, if y'all want to express, let's talk about fears. Let's talk about what we feared before 2020 and how we overcame that, or if you haven't overcame it yet. And I'll start first.
Go ahead, you need.
Before I woke up, I actually was afraid of the system. I was afraid to go against them because I was always, that's how we were taught to be afraid of them. They're going to come after you. They're going to do all these things, this and that and the other. So I used to be afraid to talk crap about them and to stand up against them. But right when March 2020 came, actually before that in 2019, once I started really waking up, I started standing up against the system, expressing, going against, being vocal. Going around Arizona, Texas, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, just expressing what the hell is really going on around this world and what they're doing to everybody, even mankind. And now I'm no longer afraid of this system at all. And I don't even give a damn about this system. I actually have no fear of anything. And once you become fearless, that's one of your greatest powers right there. So I just wanted to share that.
Thank you for sharing.
Yeah.
Who else got something? Who else got a fear they want to talk about that they released? Or maybe that you still have that you're working on right now in the shadows?
Right.
Anybody? Anybody want to exercise that throat chakra?
Let's exercise it, y'all. It's sacred. It's
Like,
sacred.
peace, y'all.
Hey, Karma's real. You finna exercise your throat chakra, Karma?
I was just saying greetings. I came in a little late, but greetings.
Oh, greetings. All right.
No worries.
So, I'll repeat, since you just came in. So we're talking about fears. Fears, what was it? Fears from 2020 or fears from
fears
That you
2019 that
had
you had
now
before
that you
you
don't have
awakened?
anymore.
Yeah, or are you
Yeah.
still dealing with currently? Because some people, they're afraid of the system still. So let's talk about it.
Or whatever
What?
you feared and don't anymore.
I'm
Because
trying
I've
to
never
think.
been scared of the system.
Me neither. I'm going to stand on that as well. I've been doing this and talking it since 2009
There you go.
on publicly. So, but I was going to talk about the other thing because I've been here since the near death one.
Go ahead, talk about it.
Yeah.
I want to
Yeah.
add something to that, and then maybe fear. So, I was in a car accident, right? I was driving to go. I had to make it from Atlanta to New York with for an appointment for my dad in New York. A very big appointment. All his doctors were going to be there. So I left, but I left in an angry way. I left before, I didn't get no sleep. I was ripping and running all day. But normally that trip is nothing to me because I've done it so many times by myself in 12 hours. Like, it's nothing. But this time I was going to have my aunt and my niece with me because they needed to go handle some things up there. And then I had I'm trying to think, I didn't have anything I was bringing, but I had stuff I wanted to bring back because I still kind of had a place there too. So we get out on the road, and mind you, neither one of them can help me drive. They don't have a license. And I had just picked them up from work, so they were tired as well. So we all left tired. So my niece, she got in the front, and we were driving. And we made it all the way to Virginia. I think I might have stopped like maybe the past 2 hours, but I couldn't get no sleep because I started out at night. So it's hard for me to sleep when the sun is out on a road trip,
Right.
So it's just that a car is uncomfortable. So I tried to stop a few times. It didn't work. 20 minutes here, hour there, nothing worked. So right when I was like, yo, I gotta I'm pulling over. My niece had got in the back seat. My aunt got in the front. Like, mind you, she just worked an 8 to 10 hour shift
Mm.
and stayed up to keep me up on a ride all the way to Virginia. So she's just
Mm,
pulling at least 20 hours, you know?
Mm.
So my
mm,
aunt got in the front seat. And then I was thinking to myself, I said to myself out loud, I looked over, and I had my 2 dogs in the car too. I looked over to them and I was like, yo, I'm pulling over at the next exit. So all of a sudden, I remember hearing, yo, hey, bro. And I'm like, um, open my eyes and I see my dogs flying in the rearview mirror, like just flying across the car. I see my niece, she hit her head against the window. I look over to the right, my aunt got her arms in the air. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, I'm so at peace and in control. It's weird. And when I say it's weird, it's weird. I felt like I was like coming back into my body or something.
Yes.
And but it was just so peaceful because in the space I was in, I don't know, and I just have full control still, even though clearly I had just gotten into an accident. And I glide and I
Yes.
was gliding. I remember things going in slow motion.
yeah,
So
Yes.
I put
yeah.
my hand on the wheel and and I got to my right. And I was like, and I was telling him, it's okay. We good. It's okay. It's okay. So then I pulled over to the right. I remember this dude in a truck, black truck, came speeding up from behind me and jumped in front of me. And he ran out the car. He was like a dried tomato coming to that car. That's how
Mm.
he looked. The sun was burning him, but he was like, "You okay? I saw the whole thing. I saw the whole thing." And I was just like, "I'm good." I didn't even think to ask what happened because at this point, I still don't know what happened. I just know stay calm, everything's all good, get over, right?
Mm,
So I know them cars had to see me swerving and shit like that, and I'm not saying that's the reason why I didn't hit nobody, because I was protected, I was covered. You know what I'm saying? But
mm,
they must have saw me swerving and decided to stay away. So that's why I didn't hit nothing. So till this day, I think I hit the median
mm,
and only the median on the right side of my car. So basically when I pulled, oh, that's what I remember. I pulled up. I think I might have bounced off the median one time, just a little bit though. So I fell asleep and on the road. But like I said, the place I had entered when I closed my eyes, because right before I closed my eyes, I'm pulling over, y'all. But and the thing was too, as soon as my aunt got in the front seat, she's already still tired, but she should have been staying up that whole time while me, while her daughter was keeping me up. She got in the front seat, fell asleep right away, and then I fell asleep right after her. So she was supposed to be keeping me up, and my niece, when she got in the back seat, she just fell asleep. So this is like
mm,
20 minutes, maybe 30 minutes after my niece, or maybe an hour after my niece left the front seat, and I was just gliding. Like I said, it was peace. I think I might have hit the median one time. I had to get half my car done. It wasn't a bad accident, but I just hit the median, and then I had to wind up. I didn't hear no noises with the car after that, so I was gonna keep going, but I pulled over anyways, and then
mm,
I had to wind up taking it to the dealership, and he was like, "If you would have got back on that road, it would have been a wrap." Cause one of my wheels wasn't even touching the floor, but I really couldn't see it. But they saw that. So I had to get work done on the front wheel. They shuttled us to a hotel. We stayed in the hotel for the night anyways.
mhm.
Barely almost left the next day because they wasn't done yet. So yeah, that was my situation.
Well, thank you
And
for
then a fear,
sharing.
I don't really know because right now I haven't feared something in a minute
Right.
to
I
maybe
sure.
where it's just like, I don't know, not afraid. I haven't feared nothing in a
Yes,
minute, so I really can't think of a fear right now. But if I do, I will have no problem unmuting and saying what I remember.
I share.
Ashe.
Peace.
Who who else want to share? Anybody else want to share? I can go, but I be talking a lot, so I'm trying to
You know
let
what?
y'all talk.
I want
We
to
like,
piggyback real
well,
quick off her car crash. Because remember, I explained that I got into a self-car collision too.
mhm.
March, no, it was May 29th. And I hit the medium as well. It was a self-car collision. I hit the medium as well. But I want to show y'all real quick, if I can share my screen, the pictures. It's just about 5 pictures. And then y'all let me know. Because I came out scratch free. Can y'all hear? Can y'all see?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is what happened with my car. Well, Metaverse car. Y'all see all that? So I hit the medium and I ended up going into the medium. I don't know how it happened, how I landed in there. 2 sides of a freeway.
Look like you hit one of those, the metal wire ones too. That's the worst one to hit, yo.
Right. So when all
Damn.
that happened, I was just shocked. I didn't know what to think. And I
You
remember
fell
people were like,
asleep too?
no, I actually did not fall asleep. And so when the tow truck guy came, actually, the tow truck guy came a little bit afterwards, but the highway patrol was there, and they even said, I don't know how you made
Walked
it
away.
alive, crash free, because most people don't survive this.
Have
And
mercy.
right, that was our Soul Star family. They had my back.
It
So you
wasn't
see how
your
bad that
time
was.
yet. And
So right
obviously
there,
wasn't your time to go.
it wasn't my time to go.
Right, for the both of them.
I never I've had a couple near death experiences actually, but the one that sticks out for me the most, because I think I died for a couple of minutes on the table, was
Mm-hmm.
during the birth of my daughter. Um and what resonates with me, what everybody is talking about, is the sense of peace. Because I was like on the operating table, they was trying to take her, it's getting ready to take her from emergency cesarean, because she had a prolapse cord. And I remember, when your body goes into shock, you start shaking. Your whole body starts shaking. And
Mm-hmm.
so my whole body started shaking. And I remember the last memory I had was I looked up at the doctor and I was like, if I die, make sure my baby don't die. And then I just remember blacking out. But it wasn't like a blackout, y'all. It was like, you know how like when you in a deep sleep, like the deepest sleep you done been in, and it just feel like you resting and you just, that peaceful type of rest that you get, like where you can't really, it almost feel like you floating in your rest.
Mm-hmm.
And I
Yes.
remember feeling like that, and it was like just total darkness. But it was like peaceful, peaceful. You know what I'm saying? Like I was floating. And that's all I can remember about it. Like I ain't see no light, like people say. I didn't have
You
no
can
whole
see no.
bunch of memories flashed by I didn't have none of that. I just remember losing consciousness and feeling like I was floating in the blackness, and it was real peaceful. And so after everything happened and I woke up or whatever, I came, woke up, they told me, that my heart had stopped on the table, and my baby's heart, she wasn't breathing either. And so I just remember thinking about that, now that I'm awakened, because, even then I still feared death, but I didn't realize to myself, like, I had died. And I was watching these lectures by Bobby Hemmett, and he was like, you die every night when you go to sleep. And I was like, you know what? If he ain't never lied, because when I, died for, a couple seconds or whatever on that table, it felt just like a peaceful rest. It was like an overwhelming sense of peace. And hearing y'all say that, you understand, just confirms that I'm telling y'all, it's not what you think it is. It's not what they make it out to be, like it's something, you know, like the end. It's not the end, it's just
A beginning.
the beginning. You understand what I'm saying? And as far as fears, man, I'm telling y'all, I ain't never really been scary. Other than the fear of death, that was the only fear I really had. Like I always been like, fuck the system, y'all. I'm
There
for
you
real.
go.
Like I don't know. That just it was bred in me because my mom was a ex Black Panther, so you understand. So I was always around people that didn't give a fuck about the police and the system. You understand? So that was kind of bred in me, and yeah, but I just had like a fear of death, and probably the other fear that I had after I became a mother was being a bad mother and
Mm,
following the model that my mother had for me. You
mm,
understand? Like that was a big fear for me, like not having the same thing happen to my kids that happened to me in my childhood. So that became a fear, but I've released it now, you understand, since I've awakened and I realized that I was able to conquer and stop most of the generational curses. You understand? It's still some stuff that we got going on, but at least now that I'm awakened, I'm at a point to be able to deal with it, not just go through it, but understand why it's happening and then deal with it, you know. And so that's where I'm at now, like at a point of acceptance, you understand, about the things that I feared, well, those two things or whatever, and I'm doing better. But yeah, before I awakened, definitely death and fear of being a bad mom was my two.
Ashe.
I have one more thing to say.
What's that?
In reference to my accident,
Mm.
nobody was really hurt, and my niece, she had like a scratch above her eye, and that was it. So none of us were hurt.
Oh, good.
And nobody
That's
was hurt.
good.
Yeah,
That's
but like I
That's
said,
always
I
beautiful.
think I took control of the car as soon as I opened my eyes. I just literally like, it's almost like I just floated it over to the median, like it
Right.
wasn't on the ground. Everything was
Mm.
fine, you know. So I just want to say that
That's always good. Like if you could get out scratch free or just you're not even hurt where you got to go to the hospital, that's some rarity.
Yeah.
And for us
Mhm.
You know,
originals,
guys,
that's
the
amazing.
rarity of
Mhm.
that dream,
Somebody sounds low. Who's
that
talking?
was
You
a
low,
rarity.
I think it's
Oh,
2K,
this
but you
this
real
me.
low.
Yeah, I'm real low. Okay, let me see. Let me get this thing
You
pumped
might
up
need to
here.
go out and come back in.
Okay.
Y'all awful quiet today, boy. Y'all ain't saying nothing.
Hey,
You know what?
who has some clouds
Hey,
today?
River,
Anybody got the sun?
It's just
River, what's
I think we
going
all been
on?
sleeping. That heavy
Tired,
sleep
right?
hit us all.
Good gracious. Boy, that
I think
sun
that's
ain't
what it is.
playing.
Let's okay. Tell her story, and then I'll share one of mine.
Yeah.
You
Where'd
got
she
it.
go? She went out and didn't come back. Hold on, she'll be back in a second. It must have been something going on with her connection or something. I
Does
hope she
anybody?
could come back in.
well,
Does
I
anybody?
came late and exercised my throat chakra,
You done exercise your
You
throat
always
chakra. You gotta
exercise your
give
throat
somebody
chakra with
else a turn.
us.
and I came late.
Okay, how's it now, guys?
You know what? You
Better?
still low, but I think we can
We
listen.
think we gonna
Put an ear
listen.
to.
We gonna put our whole ear there. Well,
Just bring it up here.
what happened? She went back out.
Yeah, this thing
She
is
back in.
crazy. Like,
Oh,
You was loud like 10 minutes ago.
I don't even hear y'all now, so this is
Telegram
it
or
ain't
solar,
telling. It's
solar.
the plasma hitting everything, y'all. This is funny.
I
This is
do.
okay.
metaverse going
I do
down.
notice
Here you go.
if you
Here
click
you
on
go.
their picture,
Y'all can hear me now
you
better?
could turn your
Yeah,
speaker
there you
volume
go.
up. Yeah.
Sound better, guys?
Yeah,
Yes.
we can hear you now.
Yes. Sorry about that. You know, switching from car to regular phone, it gives me the flux. I tell you. But anywho, with that accident and that peace I felt, and I knew because when I closed my eyes, I seen us about to tilt and tumble. But my thought was, you gonna get right back over. It's like I took my right hand and I nudged us back. But it was in that peaceful thought. And when I hit, like, felt the car go boom, because it was on one side of the wheel. It was about to turn all the way over and flip. We was gonna flip about 15, 20 times. I'm trying to tell you. That's how fast she was going. And she just abruptly slammed on the brakes that made us turn. And when she did that, my eyes closed and I inhaled, and I just, like, I took that thought, was like, push that car back because I ain't ready to go, you know what I'm saying? And then it's like I saved her life because she still had a funky attitude, you know, after we swerved in the medium and had grass to our waist in this car, and then we pulled to the side and another vehicle pulled up and the couple got out. I was like, you okay? I was like, where you headed? Because I didn't want to get back in that car with that girl because I said I'm going to mess around and hurt this girl because she just tried to kill me with her attitude. I'm like, seriously? It was so evil. And she didn't even say, I'm sorry. She still haven't said, I'm sorry for what I did. Her mama, though, warned me before it left. It's like, she mad, she got attitude. Better watch what you say to her. I'm like, what the hell that mean? You know, I'm like, she shouldn't be mad at me. But she took it out on me and almost cost us our lives. But see, it wasn't meant for me to go, and I knew it. So that calmness that I had, it felt so good. And I'm like, I just closed my eyes, and I love that feeling. And that was me overcoming fear for whatever it was, because I don't remember having any fear towards anything. Tell you the
Right.
truth, even when I was little, you know, maybe the fear of disappointing my mother, maybe, I don't know, I can't even say, because I was a child that was obedient to my parents. I was one, like, hey, honor thy mother, thy father, period, you know. And I took that to a whole nother level. So the fear was me making my mom and dad proud of whatever, I guess people call it now people pleasing, but there was my parents, you know what I mean? I have the utmost respect, and my father is only parent that's left, and he is so grateful for the fact that we have a relationship because of him and my mom relationship and how it went down. He thought, you know, the kids was gonna resent him for it, and I always told him we was kids. We had nothing to do with our relationship, you know. If you know, from being hurt, mom used us as pawns to hurt you, then you should have understood where that was come from. Y'all should have been able to talk about it. But we have a great relationship, and you know, he still don't listen to nothing though. I feel like I'm the parent now with his little health issues. Um, with his car accident, well, his work accident, he has a broken lumbar, L5, L4 and 5. And he didn't want them to operate on his back because he thought maybe back in the old days, you know how they used to just split your back wide open and then cut you and do them instead of the laser. So I was just trying to explain to him what they was gonna do, because they need to set it so it can start mending back. But since he didn't do that, now it is growing back diagonal into his sciatic nerve. So now he's walking at like a 30-degree angle because he can't stand straight up because of that sharpness of that bone. And how he described his accident, how he got slung from his work truck up against a brick wall with the little arm, that piece, you know, they look like little buckets that be on the buildings, but they be on trucks to go up buildings, raise you up. That was smashed on him, and he was like, he felt the breath leaving out of him, and then he came up out his body, he said, and then he fell, his lighter body fell onto the roof on top of it, and then his physical body fell into him. And I was like, wow. I was just only imagining that. How can the spirit body feel the physical body? How he described it, basically. That's how he described it. Because he was like, I can see myself translucent laying there. He said, I didn't feel falling. He said, what I felt was my physical body fall into me. So that was weird right there. So I've been talking with him on those experiences because he's still having those like slight dreams of that reoccurring accident. And that's another thing I be wanting to know. Like when you experience something, I could say tragic, maybe traumatizing in that manner, to have you to reoccur that, is it trying to tell you something? You know, keep having that reoccurring, experience. I don't know. Like he in a loop because he said keep having that dream about that, and he getting more and more detail with it and experiencing it all over again. So what could that be? I mean, that's kind of different from, is it his fear? Do you think that could be a fear of his?
That's communication.
Yeah.
Nefertiti shaking her head like, whoa, I'm trying to.
No. I'm trying to think of a way to say it. You know how you get caught in a loop?
Yeah.
You keep looping. That's what's happening. His energy's still there. He keep
I was gonna
looping
say,
because
can a piece of you be one place and a piece of you be
yeah,
another place? That's
exactly.
basically
That's
how
his
it. Yeah,
soul fragment. He
a
need to
piece of him did die.
reincorporate it. Right. It didn't die. It
Well,
fragmented there. It
yeah,
fragmented
fragmented.
there. So he keep
Mhm.
on going back there until he reincorporated back into himself. He
Mhm.
left a piece of himself in that space. And you got to think time don't exist. When we dreaming, there is no time. So he actually going back to the moment where he lost a piece of himself. You understand what I'm saying? Like actually there. Because the
Mhm.
physical body is the illusion and the dream is the real world. So when you start to think about your dreams like that, he's going back there and reliving going back into the loop. You see what I'm saying? He going every
I
time he's
understand.
experiencing that again.
Understand it. He
Hmm.
don't, my father is one, because when I talk like that, my dad's like, I understand your beliefs, but he's still like, I believe a woman came from a man's rib. I was like, okay, Dad, well, why you
Hmm.
got a navel?
Well,
Why? You don't
and
have to
this,
go with that too. I'm saying, think about it, Dad. I was like, well, it's your belief and my belief. So speaking in those terms like that, like Daddy, talking about, the astral planing and physical souls and our spirits, he is like one not to grasp it because of the indoctrination of the Bible, and he believes that truly. So it be like my words be set on a deaf person, but he hear me talking, see my lips moving, but he will still come back and say, well, your beliefs, I don't knock nobody for their beliefs. So in other words, don't knock him for his. So I'm like,
oh, I say, and you got to meet people where they at. In this
yep.
lifetime, maybe he won't learn that lesson. He just have to reincarnate and learn it again. But he got post traumatic stress, so he could still do therapy and meditation and heal himself without even realizing what he doing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I hope so, that with him, because it seemed like one of those cases of like not lost cause, but like you said, he gonna have to reincarnate and do it again.
Hmm.
And I thought doing the research that this should be our last time reincarnating period on this realm, which was supposed to be our teaching school for alchemy master whatever before we got invaded, and we kept reincarnating over and over and over till we get the last of these entities that came over here and invaded us and took over. And hopefully that when his memories come back, because he's here for a reason, I know it is, he's still here for my dad is just turned 69 years old July 29th, so he's still here for a reason. I truly believe that.
Yeah. And Terra is a school for the warrior gods. Like you got to think about it. These beings didn't exist for maybe 6,000 years. This place done been here. We don't know time, so I can't tell you how long this planet has existed. But this was always for us to come down into the physical form and manifest to have this experience. We the universe experience in itself. So it'll still be here when we done, we just had to keep on reincarnating because our energy was trapped due to these beings being here and due to us getting trapped and bound down here to clean up the mess. But once we done, we done. We don't have to reincarnate because we done already learned how to get back to solar. But these people who caught up in the Bible, they don't know how to get, they not on their ninth chakra, so they're going to have to, they not hitting the level they need to hit to get to that dimension. So that's why they energy are recycled.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that makes total sense.
You gotta know how to get back home, and the only way you gonna know how to get back home is first eye activation and getting all your chakras aligned and knowing how to metaphysically get there. And you ain't gonna find that in no Greco-European Bible, that's for sure, unless you read it from a metaphysical level.
I say.
You know, I was gonna say one more thing, right? I'm trying to think. In that space that I felt, like I said, I felt so peaceful and light, like I was just like a feather, right? If I didn't have them in the car, I'm trying to think if I would have just stayed in that place. If I wasn't responsible for other people, because I don't just be getting accidents, you know. It was just a lack of sleep, and I really, 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 really wanted to make it to my dad's appointment. So I'm thinking if I just would have probably stayed in that place because it felt good.
That's something you will never know because everything happens for a reason.
Reason in the season. That's facts. That's facts. You gonna go river? I see you listening.
River
You gonna go
flows.
down river? You thought I forgot about you, didn't you? I circle right back. You see that?
Nah, nah, I'm good. I just want to go get an orange juice. That's what I'll miss about LA. But I had a near death experience. Well, it was, I don't know what it was really, but it was a huge accident I had. Mind you, this is exactly 1 year after 9/11.
Mm.
On 9/11, and I
Mm.
was going to college. This memory doesn't, it never leaves me for some reason because it's so powerful. But I was listening to Big Boy in the morning, and he was talking about the 1 year anniversary of 9/11. And out
Mm,
here, as you guys know, we have like one of the biggest um, traffic areas for freeways. So I was on a major freeway headed to college, and mind you, the cars on the right, I was headed east, so the sun was rising. It was like really blinding, so you have to kind of, use your visors and whatnot. But that particular day it was overly blinding, and I was driving. My best friend just got a car just that same week, and that was like the second day we were using it to go to school together, to carpool together. So we're in the carpool lane, and I think I'm going about like 70. Mind you, there's like nothing but packed traffic on the right hand side. But
mm,
ahead of me, it seems completely clear. It seems like there's no one on the carpool lane. So I'm going at a pretty decent pace, 70, 75, almost 80. And clearly ahead of me, I see something coming at me really, like, I'm talking about, like, if I don't slow down, I am going to, like, really destroy some shit. So I'm trying to think fast,
mm,
and I noticed that if I swerve to the left, I'm gonna hit the center divider, but if I swerve to the right, I'm going to run into a shitload of cars.
Mm.
So what I decided to do, because I've always been an adrenaline junkie when it comes to speed.
mm.
I was into cars and stuff at that time, so I used my e-brake plus my brakes, which is the number one thing you should never do, because what
Right,
happens is the back end of the car begins to fishtail.
right.
So as I'm approaching, I notice that it's a small little Toyota pickup truck, okay? And I see three heads in the rear view mirror. I have really great eye vision. I've always had. And what I did was I swerved to the left to avoid hitting this pickup truck because the pickup truck was at a complete stop on the carpool lane when you're supposed to not do that. It was completely stopped. So I swerved. I hit the center divider on the left. I get up on two wheels. I barely missed the pickup truck. Like, I can't even tell you like how close it was for me to almost kill a whole Mexican little family. It was like the mother, the father, and the daughter in the middle seat of a small. They don't have back seats in those small pickup trucks. I
Yeah.
literally missed these people by I can't even say how small of a space. I ended up on two wheels, and like you guys are talking about, this slow motion thing is insane because I see it all happen in slow motion, and I'm observing my friends because it was my best friend at the time. He's he passed away a couple years ago actually from a head-on collision in his motorcycle, which he only had for about 30 days, which is crazy. But he was sitting in the right side, and sorry, I'm getting a little emotional. And the person, my other friend that I'm not friends with anymore, he was in the back seat. So as the slow motion stopped, like you said, it's a slow motion, and then blackness happens, and then the next thing you know, the accident is over. But I do remember it. I've never really thought about it how you guys put it, but it is a very peaceful state of mind to be in. But after we came to, I look around, and only the guy in the back had blood coming down his right eyebrow. But literally, we walked away from this with a completely totaled car, a family that didn't even get touched, and the only reason why they stopped on the freeway because there was a paint bucket in front of them, like a regular white paint bucket.
You could have hit that and kept it pushing.
It didn't hit no other cars that were packed right next to us. I barely touched that pickup truck, but I completely totaled his brand new car.
Damn.
And they did all of that for a paint bucket that they probably could have just tapped and it would have moved out the way anyway and kept going.
Oh my God.
Out there and killed some people over a paint bucket.
But the numbers in the just all the signs in general, is a very toxic energy field thing going on around that day. They wanted to obviously create a bigger mess than what it was. But somehow God came in play and took the wheel, made the right decisions of how I did, and saved ourselves and saved the families and whoever else. Who knows?
Ashe. It sounds like a lot of us that had car accidents. I have too, but I ain't even gonna get into mine. But I got scars, like
Yeah,
lip,
that's just
no, for real,
one,
like
but I'm sure everybody's got plenty,
like
right?
see. Hold on, let me see if I can show y'all. Like, see, I got actual scars from an accident. See my face.
A little bit.
And then I got a scar here too on this side somewhere. I don't know if y'all can see it. I got on my bangles, but yeah, I got into a couple bad accidents.
Right. I mean, I'll
Anybody else?
take a car crash over an airplane crash.
Look, I ain't FaceTiming with no plane crash because you ain't got nobody on here could say, and nobody that we know could be like, I was on a plane and survived a plane crash. That's over
That's
for you
rare.
there. You're very rare. Maybe you survived one that crashed on the runway before it got up in the air, and even then they be fucked up. But I don't know nobody that was like, I was in the air and the plane came down. I mean, you hear about it, maybe 1 in a million, billion. But look, if you survive that, your work is not done, bro.
And to survive that with a little bit of scratch, but you good to go, that's even crazier.
That's like that Unbreakable movie. Y'all remember that Unbreakable movie when he was in the train station or whatever? And
Yeah.
who was it? Bruce Willis, you remember? And everybody
Samuel L.
got killed
Jackson.
on it.
Right.
Yeah, yeah. But that was some of our metaphysical stuff. But that that was a never broken
Oh, those
up
gamma
though
rays get
either.
you.
My
Those
phone
gamma
breaking up.
Yes.
I'm breaking up. Let me try again. Can y'all hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, it was like right when I said something, I saw my mic, it did like a little swirl. Like, I don't know, but I'm telling y'all, like, my Wi-Fi and stuff finna go. I could just tell because it's done been acting like really, really bad. Like, it's really bad. Like, my phone, too, just dropping calls and stuff. I be in the middle of a conversation or something. So it's
Yes.
getting ready to,
Yes, I've been experiencing that too, Nefertiti. Yep. My phone will
yeah.
go hot. It'll go hot just and it'll tell me. I never got that message. I'm like, I'm in the house though.
Right.
Yeah. And my phone have been saying no internet. Like uh even when I'm on my Wi-Fi or whatever, or even when I'm just on my 5G, like right now I ain't on my Wi-Fi because I know I couldn't have came across that and talked to y'all. I'm on that 5G and it'll just come up and it'll just freeze and it'll say no internet. And I'm like, what the hell? Do that got to do with the phone freezing? You know what I'm saying? And like,
Man,
so hold on a second.
I got a couple of followers that send me some TikTok videos, and then I'll check it, look at it, view it, and then I get out of it, and then like 30 seconds later, I'm just hearing random like noises with my phone. I don't know what the hell is that about.
The whole thing's glitching. Shit's going out.
Exactly. I
Everyone.
can't wait.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, because yeah, it's kind of low for me on and off. I
It's kind of low
never
for you.
had any near-death experiencing, but I had something different. It's more like a superwoman kind of thing. I don't know if anybody ever
Okay,
had one of those.
let's hear it.
No, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, what happened to me, this was like when I was 26. We all of us had went out to a party, me and my friends and some couple of guys. And after the party, we used to go by this place called Niski Center in the Virgin Islands, and we would go get something to eat. And that night, my friend, I told him to wait for me, don't leave. So I was inside the store ordering me a sandwich. And all of a sudden, I turn around and I see the car leaving. I say, tell this dude, don't go no. So then I run out of the store, right? And I don't know, Mister. And all of a sudden, I know I just was running behind the car, and I jump into the passenger window, land in his lap, and I look at him in his face like, did I just do that? And he look at me, the guy who was driving look at me, and when we look back, everybody who were in the parking lot, like, stop what they were doing and were looking too. We were all amazed. I don't even know, I ain't hit no part of my body because I fly into the window.
Right.
I don't even know how I did it. That's the most amazing thing I ever done. Like I said, I had no accidents, but
That
I don't
sounds
know if
like a
anybody
movie.
ever had experience like that.
Yeah.
That's a movie right there. Wow.
Hmm.
And how long ago was you said this was when you was 26 years old? Wow.
Yes.
Wow. Yep. Do some amazing things. That's awesome. I'll share with that story. Who wants to go next?
Any takers? exercise that throat chakra.
Don't be shy. It's all good.
Stretch out them cords.
Yeah.
Donnell, I know you got one.
It's funny, but I had already like kind of like early in our like talks a couple Sundays ago, I talked about me drowning in the water and things like that. So that like that was like one of my experience.
Right.
But yeah, like I like that was an experience, whereas I guess I passed and came back, and that was a different experience. It was it was just like I just started breathing in the water.
Wow. And how'd you feel in that moment?
I tell you, you know what? At that moment, at that moment, it felt like I wasn't new. It wasn't new. I wasn't new to this.
Exactly.
Yeah. But it was something that I kept with me and told very few people.
I understand that. Shay.
No, I didn't see it, but thank you. Let's see it. I'm talking to my daughter. So I'm multitasking right now.
Got it.
Oh,
Who else wants to share?
I mean, I did have some. You know, when I think about it too, I did have some gun. I had some guns like drawn on me, but
me too. I didn't want to talk about them times.
She said I want to talk about that.
Yeah, me too. But it was like,
I had a
I
couple
guess,
guns.
yeah. But they was never ever able to pull the trigger.
Right.
I'll tell you with this one, the gun jammed, and he ended up dropping the gun and running into the cops with himself.
Yes, I had a couple of them. Well, I'd have been shot at like by a couple people.
I've been shot at too, but the bullets would like never hit me. Would
Never
just
hit
I
me.
just feel it ricocheting
I
around
felt
me.
it ricochet by my head off of, man, look, I done been in some tight situations. That's all I got to say.
What have you done to get put in that situation?
Man, I told y'all, look, I'm a member of the Blood gangs. Bloods, and so I look, I done had some tight situations, okay?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So I done seen the pit. Look, I was not the best youth. I will say that. You know what? I wouldn't say I wasn't the best youth, because people get a lot about gangs wrong. It's not just about hurting the community. It's also about family and protection. You know what I'm saying? And you got a lot of good people that live that life, but at the same time, when you in it, like shit, it can get real. Like it's not no I'll put it like this: it has its highlights and then it has its lowlights. And I done seen a lot of lowlights living that life. And I done been shot at a couple times. And then, but the time that I remember the most, I got shot was for my first fall. Long story, but just know I done had a life. I done walked in many shoes. Trust and believe. But mm-hmm,
Yeah.
yeah,
Wow, that's what I'm talking
yeah,
about. See, everybody been through some stuff, man.
That
Yeah,
powerful shit right
yeah.
there.
I was one with the gun about to kill somebody, and that darn got shot. I mean, had the gun underneath the chin, pulled the trigger, and it clicked. It wasn't meant for me to kill, but it was out of self-defense, mind you,
Right,
not just
Mm-hmm.
self-defense. And boy, I believe I seen his spirit try to exit his body because he was scared as hell because he didn't think I had it in me.
right.
Oh, I
Hey,
laugh at that so bad right now. Ah, but then
oh,
he had hit me, and I was like, oh hell no! I chased that fool out my crib, and I was shooting that 380 automatic 9 clip down the street, and I just had to stop. Cause I was like, oh, I had to wheel those bullets, cause it wasn't hitting him. You know what I'm saying? I had to wheel those bullets so it won't hit nobody else. You know what I mean? Out of my anger and my, me defending myself, I'm like, you ain't gonna hit me and run, you little punk bitch. I was mad, okay? And I don't want to ever get like that ever again. But yeah,
Right.
it wasn't meant
mm,
for me to shoot that fool. He was my baby's daddy. All 5 of them heifers. That was his daddy. It wasn't meant for me to kill him, y'all. I'm trying to
Oh
tell you.
my,
That's how I knew.
oh
that,
man.
my God. Oh man. Ooh,
I'm
say she done pulled
serious.
out the fire about to kill him. Have mercy.
Woo!
But
Right.
we
But he
thankful you did it, Suke.
I
We
know,
thankful.
me too. But he kicked in my door. I could have went. I wasn't going to jail. Shoot, that was
No,
involuntary
you wasn't
manslaughter.
gonna go to jail though.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna go to jail.
uh-uh.
You wasn't gonna go to jail. Sure wasn't. That's self defense.
That sure was. But he
Right.
come
Although
to
you
my
know
house.
what, in Florida, it was this poor woman that was going through domestic violence. I don't know if y'all heard about that, but she
Mm.
was getting attacked or whatever, and she fired a warning shot in the air. And they put that lady in jail for like 15 years or something because she fired it
I
in the
15.
heard
air.
about
But
that.
had she had shot, I think it was her boyfriend or her husband, she would have got off. She wouldn't have done nothing because it's a stand your ground state.
Mm.
But because
What?
Judge Brown in there,
Mm.
Florida got some messed up laws, y'all.
Right.
For real. For real. I think sometimes they be trying to get you in situations just to get you in there. You know what I'm saying? Because come on. Like, at least she spared
Right.
them and fired a warning shot. You go to jail for 15 years for a warning shot? That's tough.
You ain't lying.
Anybody else got anything that they want to share? Or anything in general? Or anything? I know
I
why
got
we
another
talk.
phenomenal one. I'm trying to.
Uh-oh.
Let's
I went
hear
through
it.
walls. I went through walls. I'm trying to tell you, I didn't even know what the hell the way my apartment was, and I don't know. I felt, I don't know, like my vehicle was being controlled on something, not in a bad way, but it was like, I believe, this is what I believe, that my husband had put something into my it was a steak patty,
Mm.
steak patty, and he had left the house. So I come in from work, and I was like, man, he ain't eat this stuff. So I was like, well, I'm gonna fix me something. Immediately after I finished that burger, I had felt like, whoa, I felt real funny. And I got up and walked to the kitchen. And when I go to the sink, it's just the kitchen wall right there. There's no going nowhere else. That's the end. Do not pass go. Okay. So then I doubled back and I went to the bathroom, which from the kitchen on that wall, that's where the bathroom is. But as I'm feeling more different and different, I don't know what the problem. I felt myself go in a circle, complete circle, all the way around, all the way through. And I'm seeing myself like, how am I going through this wall? Because I didn't stop, turn back around, come out the bathroom, and do like a half circle. No, I went a complete circle all the way through. And then this last time I was like, stop. And I stopped right
Oh, they done hit your signal.
You're gonna
They
have
done hit you.
to come back.
Door, and then when I stopped, it felt like my body was dropping, and I just said no. Like, yeah, that was crazy. That was crazy.
Wow,
We
y'all see
missed
how I
like
did
30
it?
seconds of that. We missed 30
Yeah,
seconds
but
of that.
yeah, it's doing something funny with your. And then
You
did you
said you was
hear her
going
speed
circles.
up?
You was going in
Did
circles,
it
right?
sound like she sped up to y'all though? Like, did it sound like she sped up?
Yeah, yeah, she did.
It did. It sounded like that in my ear too. Sound like I sped up real fast. I'm like, what the hell? Oh, but yeah, I went in a complete circle around in my apartment from the kitchen through my bathroom. And I'm like, I'm seeing myself go through that. And I'm like, why am I going all the way through? I was like, so this is not real. But then when I got to the bathroom, I made myself stop because I realized that I'm going through a freaking wall through the bathroom, back around and around in a full circle. So when I stopped, and my body felt my body about to fall down to the floor, and I just said no, and I reached for the sink and splashed cold water, and it snapped me back into my body. And I was like, what was that? I grabbed the cell phone and I was just looking at it. I didn't know how to operate it. I didn't know nothing. I'm like, what is this cell phone? Why? I know I got it. Who am I trying to call? And I was asking myself these questions. And then all of a sudden, everything just came back to me. And I'm looking at the wall and I'm looking at my arms and my body. Like, how did I go through that wall? I walked to the kitchen. Like, yeah, I went through that sucker. Ain't no way, no doubt, no shape, form, or fashion. I went through that wall so many times, and I was like, how did I do that? And those symptoms that I was describing, and I was looking up, and what popped up, it was like popped up a kundalini experience. I was like, outside body experience with the body. It was like kundalini. I was like, no, that don't sound right, but it popped up. And I was like, I don't know what that is right there. Maybe that was some type of malfunction. But what came to me was that he was trying to poison me. And what I was trying to do is to get it out of my body or experience that anguish. That's what came to me, because I meditated on it, because that was weird. And what came to me, it was him. It was him. And I was like, oh yeah, I gotta go. And I left shortly after that. I was like, he trying to kill me. I was like, okay, he trying to kill me. That's what came to me. My body, I was outside my body while my body was experiencing that poison.
Damn.
It's
Yep.
crazy.
It's
Crazy.
poison. This confirmed it.
Say that again.
Man, I said did get pulled to.
I didn't hear you again.
I'm going down. I'm still going down now, ain't it?
Yes.
Yep.
I'm going down now, right? I'm gonna leave and try to come back, but I see it actually like hitting my
Okay, you
phone. Hold
see
on.
it.
Y'all, the sun ain't finna let us get through this. I'm trying to tell y'all right now. So okay, it's my 5G is down. Can you hear me?
Are you connected to your internet too? Your Wi-Fi? Are you connected to your phone?
No, I'm not to the internet. Hey, are you in Georgia too? Are you?
I'm back, y'all.
Can,
Sorry about that.
can you hear me now?
Yes,
A
I can
little
hear you
bit.
good. What was that you said?
I went. You too?
No comprende.
Yeah, you breaking up big time. So who sees sunlight right now, or do y'all have clouds? Where y'all at?
I got sunlight.
Okay, okay.
I got sunlight too.
Yeah, we got it over here too.
Over here in
Did
Texas, we
y'all see
got
that picture that I sent y'all though?
which one?
On
You
the
put in
on the
the
group?
spiritual or
No,
the breaking news?
in breaking news, because that was some weather came through West Des Moines. They had 3-inch diameter hail coming down. My son's car messed up. It tore his car up, and I took a picture of how it was separating, and something was sitting in the sky in the clouds. It was weird. Look on the matter of fact, I'm gonna resend it in case, because I know so many people didn't respond. They probably pushed up, but yeah,
Okay.
I was like,
Wow.
oh, it's something up there. It was so weird, but now we got sunshine, and I'm loving it. Whew.
And you in
Right.
Iowa, right? Yeah, you in Iowa. I don't
Yeah,
know.
I'm in Iowa.
Okay.
I'm in Grimes, Iowa. This is like on the outskirts of the, like, maybe about 20 to 15 to 20 minutes from downtown Iowa. Des Moines, rather. Des Moines, as they call it. Des Moines.
Well, one thing's for sure and two things for certain. I think these solar storms are getting stronger.
I agree. I agree.
Apparently, we're not gonna see our son brother for a whole week. Well, he's out there, but they
You
got
heard them
stuff
talking
bringing
about
up.
it's supposed to be a superstorm or something coming up over Texas, and then we might get 2 hurricanes. Have you
Uh
seen
oh,
that yet?
I didn't come across that one yet.
I'm gonna share it with the group or whatever. I'll
Okay.
be watching Ryan Hall, y'all. Ryan Hall. And I'll be
Mhm.
watching the Weatherman Plus. And I think it was on the Weatherman Plus because he likes to give forecasts that be out maybe a week and a half, but usually his stuff be pretty accurate. And they got 2 hurricanes that look like lined up. One coming one way and one coming the other one. So I'll send that to you too.
All right.
In addition to some storm or whatever that's supposed to be over us or whatever in central of the United States. I'm like, they doing all of this stuff, and every time, and I don't know if this is all them anymore either. Let me just say that, because if y'all been noticing, it's been a whole lot of water spouts out in the ocean. And I think I was listening. I can't remember if it was Brother Cypher or Bobby Hemmett was saying those water spouts, or maybe even my eye. I can't remember which one I was listening to. Said that those water spouts sometimes be us powering up our spaceships over the water because they go off hydropower.
Right.
But I was saying that to say this. Also, them water spouts, what goes up must come down.
Hmm.
Can y'all hear me?
We actually hear you better.
Yes,
Okay.
very good.
Um, and so it say what goes up must come down. So we done been seeing all of these water spouts out in Florida and stuff like that, pulling up that water. I'm like, shit, that might just be Mother Gaia just remapping the earth and putting the water where it's supposed to be at. Because
Right.
once it go up, y'all know it cold travel over the land, and then it's a derecho or something, a heavy downpour. And that's also where probably some of this water coming from too. Is actually, it looked like it's just remapping itself, because I ain't never seen as many water spouts as I've been seeing. And I mean, they ain't little water spouts either, y'all. Like, if you just go on the YouTube and you look at some of those weather around the world, like them
Hmm.
damn water spouts look like that shit off Twister or something. Like, them things big as hell. And they sit over the water for 30 minutes, 40 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Just sucking up water in the air. You know that shit got to come down somewhere.
Exactly. Mm.
Very interesting.
Yeah, I posted it in the
Okay.
discussion one. But yeah, I was riding my grandbabies. I said, "Oh my God!" One side was pouring down, and the other side. Then I looked up. I'm like, "Ooh,
Yeah,
that
I
was like a
saw that.
ship."
Oh wow. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
I
like what
saw that.
You see that, y'all?
wow.
Yeah, that's wild.
You
I
see
saw
that
it at the.
sunlight
Mm.
coming down and then the other side?
Yep. Mm.
It's a direct split.
Yeah, it is crazy. But hey, I guess we finna be seeing some of everything.
I know, right?
I'm ready.
Listen there, you. He always be like he ready.
He
We
do,
gonna
right?
see. Shoot, I thought I was ready too, and then plasma energy hit me. I had to go lay down.
I'm trying to tell you.
Hey, I know. It does get us in the moment, but I think
That
once it
brain
really hit us,
bubbling.
we're just gonna be like, we're gonna adjust accordingly.
Yeah.
So I'm ready. Regardless, I'm ready. I'm always tell myself I'm ready.
That's right. Mind over matter.
I
Exactly.
think I'm gonna have that feeling when that car was about to tip over, when shit opens up. That's the calmness I'm gonna feel, because it already let me know that I can do it. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Mm.
Hmm.
Well, anybody else got anything they want to share? You know, I was on the phone. And part of the reason why I'm a little drained is we was on the phone for how long we was on the phone, admin? We was supposed to
6
be
hours at
30
least.
minutes.
Yep.
Right. Turns
30
like 6
minutes
hours.
turned into about 6, 7 hours last night. It was like what, 1:30, almost 2 o'clock before we came off the phone, and it started at 8.
Yep.
And we could have been done with Pash, but
Right.
you restarted
Ash
it.
hung up. So y'all know I done. Hey, you know, usually we go for about 3, but I ain't got 3 in me today, y'all.
Oh, we good.
Yeah. So is there any other topics anybody want to like bring to the table, or anything to the discussion, anything you want to talk about, or anything before we conclude for the day? And we'll pick this back up Wednesday with current events. It's a lot of current events going on too, so that should be an
Right.
interesting discussion. Y'all know
Yeah.
that's later. It get real raw in current events discussion, you know.
Yep. We're gonna share somewhere the updates in that one too.
Yeah, the sun is doing a lot. It's releasing some cannons.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we feeling that heat at night. I don't know if
Right.
y'all
Yeah,
that heat is at night as well. That sunny all around 24/7.
yeah. It's a real new energy. Like you can tell it's a new energy, y'all, that I've been feeling. And I mean, I think all of y'all been feeling it. And
Right.
yeah, like you could, like at night, I be full woke now. Like I be all the way woke at night. I
Mm.
don't, y'all know I was up after I came, man. I was making jewelry and stuff. Some of my best thoughts coming to me now in between like 3 and 6. Boy, I be up. I be up
Exactly.
and I be looking in the sky. And you know what I noticed about the sky? The sky
What's
is
that?
not dark anymore.
Oh no, it's like purple.
No,
It's
It's
like
no.
purple, y'all.
right.
Yeah, it's not like I'm like, man, it's another light source, right? You know, you understand what I'm saying? It's more than one light
Even when
source.
the moon is
It's
not
like
even
it's
shining,
like
it's still bright.
the
Yeah,
midnight before it gets to night for the whole night.
yeah. Yeah, I
Hmm.
noticed that. Like, I'm like, the sky look is purple. I'm like, it's not even night, like the night that we know. So that all the shit just feeding off of energy, I guess, y'all.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm starting to notice
Where it's
our
hit,
first.
it hit you feeling it right there and then. Like they
Hmm.
lying as far as this like solar flare, like this erupting, then you gonna feel it 2 days after. Bullshit. You feeling that right there and there. Because I'll feel it and I'll go, I'm like, yo, I just felt something. Let me check. And I'm like, yeah, it'll be an eruption. And I'll post it.
Hmm. Yeah, I was telling, I think I said that in a group chat. Like, I don't need them to even tell me when it erupt no more. I could feel it, or when a
Exactly.
CME hit. Because if it's a powerful one, I have to lay down or something. Like it really do something. It's really doing something to us. And I was also saying, whatever you starting to get metaphysically, keep it to yourself, bruh. Don't be all on social media,
I know I'm
moving
not.
shit and everything. Crystal, don't do none of that shit, yo, because they watching you and your ass gonna end up missing, still missing. Keep some stuff moving silence. You understand? Some stuff just,
If I make
you
a
might
post,
be
I'm just
doing
gonna
it, but
generalize.
everything ain't for everybody to know. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying?
You ain't lying. Because they gonna see it anyway.
Yeah, they'll see it eventually anyway. But, for right now, while we still in this matrix ass
Right.
system, you understand, and they still can push the buttons on you. You understand what I'm saying? It's, when you activate in certain stuff, just move a little bit more, in silence. Discreetly, stay dangerous on the low. You understand what I'm saying? Because they're going to see what you can do eventually, but you don't want to single yourself out right here, right
Not
early.
yet.
Not yet.
We know those solar flares are still putting us out a little bit.
Not till you get your full power, and then they can't do shit. Then a bullet bounce off you or something. Now, when you get on that Luke Cage, or the Matrix shit, where you hold your hand up and the bullets fall, then motherfucker, you straight. You on your apocalypse or something like that. You understand what I'm saying? Hey, do what you gotta do then. It's time. You know what I'm saying? But till you get all the way online, what I'm just saying is,
stay low key.
Be low key till you can really defend yourself with it. Then,
You ain't lying.
motherfucker, it's a free show.
Because right now,
I just see a lot of fire when you say that.
Right. Hey, y'all notice those starships? I started to see those a lot once the sunset comes in and it starts to get slightly dark and we start to see the rainbow color sky. Seeing a lot of our soul star family up there. They're moving around quick.
It's a lot going on up there. I just be over here. I be seeing a lot of orbs like up there, but it's not a star. I know it's not a star. It's got to be a ship. And then the star that always come over here where I'm at, or the ship or whatever, it's always flashing the colors of Sirius. And it's too high up to be a plane, but it's too low to be a star. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I know that that's something up there, but it's not a plane, and it always comes to the same spot.
And then when you try to look at it on your phone, it always looks different. Versus looking at it with your eye. Yeah.
True.
And have you been seeing a lot of orbs lately around your eyes when it's really dark in your room or
I've
something?
been seeing shadows. So I don't even be
see that a
talking to
lot.
people about it.
Yeah. Everything that I used to stay away from as I was young, now I'm coming back, but I'm not scared of it no more. Like, because I mean, it's almost like all around is balancing out.
You echo
Y'all,
it.
did it go out on him?
Y'all
Is
can
it
hear
just
me?
me?
No, he's echoing. I'm echoing too.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, we ain't gonna make it through this discussion. I'm telling you, we might be sitting here and the flash might be finna happen. We all like, our stuff going on there, then we be on here and be done got flashed right now.
I'm ready. Come on, son, brother Raw.
They can say whatever they want. These flares is more frequent and stronger. We in all different areas of the country right now, and we all having signal disruption.
Right.
Yep.
And nobody been speaking about how Africa been getting snow.
What you say?
How Africa been getting snow.
Oh, I didn't hear about Africa getting that snow yet.
What?
I saw it.
That's
Africa
crazy.
been getting snow and it's been flooding too.
I know about the flood part.
They was getting snow last year though. Some parts of Africa, I think in the higher elevations already got snow, but
Do they
This snow
typically
is
get snow?
different.
Oh, okay,
Like
okay.
in the higher elevations, I forget what the name of the place is by South Africa though that I'm thinking about.
Mm,
But what was unusual last year was the amount of snow that they got because it was like damn winter wonderland out there. So is they getting more snow now again, or is it hail, or is it snow?
No, they was getting more snow, and Greenland was losing all their ice.
Yeah, Greenland turning back into green. Greenland is turning back into Greenland.
Right, right, yep.
and how's
Yeah,
Said that the
Antarctica finna
was
thaw
like
out.
50,
yeah?
Um, yeah,
132
Antarctica got
minutes.
to thaw out too.
Yeah,
How's Antarctica looking right now?
green.
Melting.
Green,
Mhm.
Melting
red
fast,
actually is red. It's got
right?
red algae down there eating up everything.
Mm,
So um and what's not melting and falling into the ocean. So just a matter of time when people gonna see what's up under that ice wall, yo, because it wasn't always ice. That's
hmm
where the Lemurians and stuff was, man. We used to be down there too. So it's some real shit down there in
We're
Antarctica.
still
They
trying to
know
figure
what's
that out.
up.
What's past that ice wall? We're still trying to figure that out. Mm,
We finna see very soon. Whatever's past it is coming back over here. How about that?
right.
So my question was, does that mean that we're not going to experience harsh cold weather anymore?
I don't think it's gonna be cold like that.
No, I don't. I think Earth was always a tropical planet.
Yes,
Judging
sir.
from the
Right.
size of the trees that they cut down, if you think about those mesas and stuff, it couldn't have been no winter.
Right.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? As big as those trees was, it had to be daylight most of the time, and it couldn't have been no winter for trees to get that gigantic
You
to
used to have
stretch all the way to the firmament.
you used to have elephants over here. So I mean, that should
Hmm.
tell you, like
Yeah,
they like warm. They like warm temperatures.
yeah. And we like warm temperatures. Think about it. The original beings, we used to everything being tropical. We don't
Yep.
like the cold because it wasn't. I don't think the planet was ever had ice on it until these aliens came and
I don't
manipulated
think
our
I ever
atmosphere.
heard an original say they really like the cold, especially anything under 30.
Yeah, I don't like the cold.
We
Look,
don't say that. That's mankind.
I done seen a couple of people
I've
from the
heard it.
Caribbean that could live in the cold, but I don't know
Right.
if they like it, but they could deal with
We
it.
can
I don't
adjust
know
to
how
it.
though.
There's some
But
people that like the cold.
they like it like below zero.
I don't know about the below zero. I just know they like the
Oh,
cold.
yeah, I ain't with it at all. Like,
I
I can't take
I
it.
prefer the tropics
I
because I'm
prefer
from New
like
York
30 and
and I
up.
still
I could do
prefer the
30.
tropics.
Right.
I'd rather be hot than cold any day.
'Cause you could be
Any
naked.
day.
Likewise.
Yeah, 13 degrees. That's the most I felt, and that was too damn cold for me.
Shit, I done felt 15 below up there in
Mm-hmm.
Buffalo and Rochester and Utica, and I'm telling
Mm-hmm.
y'all something. Woo,
Right.
look
How about
here.
50 below zero?
See
Okay.
that?
No,
I'm good.
no, I'm great on that. I will never. I probably die. I'm telling y'all right now, because 15 below about took me the hell out of here.
Right.
Mm-mm.
I mean,
Mm-mm.
it's so uncomfortable you can't even sleep. You don't even want to get out of the car.
Man,
You don't even want to
look,
get out of the shower. It's just so much. It's too much.
it's too much, y'all. My feet was so cold. My feet and my hands. That's what I remember the most. And it was like I would sleep up there, y'all, and I had on all my layers. I had like 3 layers of clothes on and my coat, and I was up under the cover, y'all, and I was still cold. Like I was like, yo, boy, let me get the hell out from up here, upstate New York. I cannot. I
Y'all
cannot.
gotta remember, it makes our bones brittle. We can't move comfortably in the cold like mankind can do it in the underground race. We can't do that.
What's so
That's why
crazy?
everything dies in the wintertime. That's why it be so
Right.
flourishing in springtime.
Yeah,
You
have
can't do
mercy.
that.
Have mercy. I don't think it's natural to the earth for real. I think they
Nope.
manipulate and the wind off of them ice walls and stuff where they created
Right.
ice to put them jet streams through here, yo, because I'm gonna tell you what, like, I remember when I was little, I grew up in upstate New York, so I remember like the snowstorms or whatever. But I remember never liking snow, but I don't remember being like cold. I guess because my body was acclimated to it. But
Mm-hmm.
yo, when we moved down to North Carolina, y'all, and I tried to go back up there into the cold, nah, it's over now. Now my body just readjusted to being warm. It can't go back no more. It said, hell no.
See, this winter is gonna be a warmer winter, y'all. Like
It's
November, December.
definitely.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're gonna have a longer growing season, y'all. So y'all probably like if y'all up here in these zones up here in Georgia, you could probably grow you another batch of squash or cucumbers right now if you wanted to.
Nice.
Definitely some cabbage and stuff like that. Just go ahead and throw it down because it's gonna be warm probably until like November, December. Yo, I don't. It might be warm past that the way this sun and stuff acting.
There you go.
Yep.
All right, y'all. Y'all have anything
All right.
else?
I'm good, y'all. You see my
All
mic
right,
come off face
family.
like, uh-oh, here she goes. She got another one. Come on, y'all. Put them ears to this.
Nah, you good.
I
No, you
know. I
great.
just enjoy this conversation. It's just like seeing y'all. You know what I mean?
Ashe.
Yeah, we all cosmic family, y'all.
Yeah.
Well, this was a good exchange, guys. I hope you all have a good rest of your afternoon. Thanks for participating and listening and giving your energy and everything. And just remember to protect your energy, protect your light. And I'll see some of you all on Wednesday, I guess. And stay dangerous. That's how I'm going to end it. Stay
Hey,
dangerous.
son,
Yeah.
dangerous.
Ashe.
I have one more thing to
Ashe.
say. Definitely, so my screen is not all that clear. It's kind of like it's just not clear, but I can tell that necklace you have on is popping. That pendant, I could tell, even though my screen is not like crystal clear right now. That's all I have to say. Well, stay
Nah.
Thank you,
dangerous.
love. Thank you. I created this. I got some for my shop.
Yeah,
Yeah. Mhm.
it's official.
Thank you so much, dear. You know, I try. I be in here creating.
Yeah, I do too. I need to clean out my little room, but I be making some pieces as well, but not with stone. But I still be in here, and like you said,
Crossfade.
between that 3 and 6, 12 and 6, 12 and
Yes.
4. Yeah, I've had insomnia for a minute, but you definitely can create good those
Yeah.
hours.
Oh yeah, I wanted to show you guys too. I was telling Unique in them that I be creating and so they asked to see my magic stick.
Oh yeah.
Mm.
See?
Nice.
And then it's got the Kundalini on it.
You wanna share that
Yeah, that's
story?
hard.
That story real quick to him, or you
Oh,
want to
my
end it off?
story. Oh, okay. I'm gonna share this, then we gonna go. So hold on. So this is my story. Hold on. About my stick. So this is my little stick, right? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
My magic stick. So basically I was at the Santeria and I started to get into Vodun because actually my grandmother from the other side been like, you know, walking me through like some stuff or whatever. So I knew I needed a stick, you know what I'm saying? So I asked Legba when it was time for me to be ready to give me my stick. So to make the long story short, I was in the Santeria and I go to this Santeria down in Fort Lauderdale to like get all of my candles and ritual spells and different oils and stuff that I don't make myself because they're really good at it. And so I was in the back and it was like all of these like you know, these staffs and sticks back there. But this one just stuck out to me because it was the only one like this, you know, with all of these designs and everything on it. It didn't have a price on it, but like it was like right when I seen it, I knew that was supposed to be for me. So I went and I got it and I took it up to the front counter and I would ask the lady, I'm like, hey, this doesn't have a price on it. How much is this? And so she was looking at me like I was crazy and I'm looking at her, you understand? And she looked like she was afraid of it. So she gave it to me for $10. Like, and you know, them sticks back there, you know, this is a hand carved Haitian, you know, you could tell this came from straight from the, you know, and she gave it to me for $10 and hurried up and rushed me up out of there. That's the first time she checked me up out of there so quick. So something told me, talking to my grandma, I was like, I gotta activate my stick. I need to take it to the beach. So that's Sunday, I went to the beach and I took this stick, my little magic stick, and I stuck it. I did a little ritual in the salt water, and then I took it and I stuck it in the ground, and I was doing this little like chant. And, you know, sunbathing, meditating or whatever. And it was early in the morning, probably about 7:30, 8 o'clock. And it was all of these inorganic beings out there. Because, you know, in Florida, the inorganic beings like to come out early in the morning and jog and be out there on the beach on Sunday. It don't hardly be none of us out there. And so I remember like getting this real like vibrating feeling like in myself or whatever. And so I opened up my eyes. And when I opened up my eyes, it looked like my stick was just doing like a little vibration like this, right? It was vibrating, right? So I ain't paying no attention. I was like, it's probably vibrating from the, you know, the wind out here blowing, because the wind was blowing and stuff, you know what I'm saying? Or maybe, you know, I'm having a little Kundalini experience, but I'm under Ra, you know, I'm expecting. And so all of a sudden, y'all, I looked up in the air and you know how you see ravens and they make that like tornado formation? Like, you know, they be up in the air and they be flying high and they be like circling, you know what I'm saying?
They
Circling.
about to get some prey.
Right. Okay, y'all. Now listen to me. Check this out. So they was over like a little bit in the distance up high. Now, mind you, I don't know where these ravens came from now, y'all. Serious business. And so they start getting closer and closer and closer. And then the white people pulled out their cameras and stuff, their phones, because I was still looking at it like, well, what is they finna? And then it hit me. I was like, holy shit, it's my stick. Y'all, I grabbed my stick so fast. Y'all should have saw how quick I got up out of there. Them white people was like, they had their phones and everything because the damn ravens, they was following my stick, y'all. Man, I had to get up out of there. This is what happens when you got stuff and you don't even know what the hell it is. I'm just saying, but now, like, every time I take it outside or something like that, and I don't do it often, you know, because I don't be wanting people to see my shit or what I be doing. But, like, when I take it outside, if it's cloudy, it'll get sunny just for a minute. Or either I'll see some ravens, like, for real. Like, when I take this stick outside and when I looked into it, I realized, you know, that's some voodoo and some legba stuff with the ravens and everything like that. But honestly, when I first got it, I ain't know, you understand, like, I just, you know, something just told me. And that's the funny thing about voodoo and this type of stuff like this is they actually use some of this stuff. You don't even know how you know it or where it come from. You know what I'm saying? So that was it. I was just showing y'all my magic stick. Everybody need to get their little magic tools up. We all got them. We was talking about that in the admin chat. Our magic stuff. I think somebody got a magic cape.
Yep.
Yeah.
Tap
Get
into
your
your inner
stuff or
child.
you tap into your magic. But that was all.
Oh, that's dope.
Right.
All right, guys. Well, we gone for real now. So I'm gonna say stay dangerous again, you guys, until Wednesday. We'll hit this back on Wednesday. We'll be live and ready. Everybody get your rest in your H3O water. Of course, get out in our sun brother as much as possible and try to alkalize your diet as much as possible. I even got to do that myself, family. You know what I'm saying? I'm stripping more stuff away. So baby steps, you know, but it's going to help us have less ascension symptoms. And I think River put some herbs and stuff in the chats and stuff. Y'all try that. cleanse your blood, that blue vervain. I'm getting ready to get some of that myself to try to
Exactly.
cleanse my blood. So, all right, family.
All right,
Until
family.
value and appreciation.
Mhm.
Peace.